Hey guys, so I wanted to record a couple of thoughts, couple of ideas that I have about the new Google Pixel. I'm a proud owner of the Nexus 5X. Considering getting a new Pixel, the new Google phone that everyone is talking about. But I don't know, right? I'm not sure. I keep reading things and opinions that go both ways. Um, what are the major good reasons to go ahead and buy Pixel. Um, well, for starters, obviously, it's the new Google phone, right? It's a new Google Way. It is how you can keep in touch with, so to speak, the Nexus line, even though it's being finished, right? So no more. This is the. It's not exactly the Nexus line. This is even a more pure form of the Nexus line, since this is a total Google phone, or so to speak, still designed by HTC, still manufactured by HTC, have Samsung parts in it, but whatever, Samsung, Foxconn, whatever the company you go with, they don't like have a factory in their backyard, right? So this is supposed to be Google Pixel from the inside out. So of course, if you're a big Google fan, this is the way to go. Now the other thing is that the specs for these phones, both the Pixel and the Pixel XL, are great. These are like really, really good phones. On the paper, at least, I am following reviews of people who are writing about it, and most people are saying like, yeah, these are premium phones. These are great phones, and if you have them, you definitely enjoy a good premium phone. So if you want an Android phone and you want a good experience that is not like bloated, with software from your carriers or manufacturers and all these apps that you don't need, and you also want to be up to date with the latest security patches and you want to be secure all the time, definitely Google Pixel is for you. I mean, in a way, this is a good approach for people who are less experienced with phones, so to speak, not power users, right? Who just wants a great phone, great experience, and not to think too much about security and what they need to download and install and all these patches. It even comes with support online, and it's really friendly toward the user. So it's kind of like a spoiling phone in that regard, right? No other Android phone has such support built in, such good features and security. Um, Now, individually, there are positive things on these phones, like great cameras, from what I'm hearing. Again, I mean, Google's saying it's the best one ever. From the different reviewers, I keep getting mixed comments of people saying that this is as good as the iPhone, not as good exactly, or surpassing iPhone. But I guess we can all agree, more or less, that this is one of the first Android phone, with maybe the exception of the 6P, that actually is on par with the iPhone. People saying like, "Yo, can actually be better than the iPhone." So it's a great camera. It is definitely the fastest one out there, which is another spec for it. And of course, the Google Assistant, among other things, it has like those niches, and there are different software parts we can get into. Right? There's the Google Assistant. There's these live wallpapers. Um, I forget what else on top of my head right now, but it comes with more software features. Okay, this is all good on the paper. What about features that are not so good? Why do I not want to get the Pixel? And this is where my phone is going off with the Google. um, let's talk about a couple of the things that are not so good. And I think this is where it gets interesting, right? First of all, the rumors seem to be true that this is a phone that was rushed to be created within, what was it, 9 months? And you can see a couple of things that are rushed. Now, I personally don't really care about the fact that it has one speaker, because I will never listen to a phone. Well, it's not true, but I don't care about having a stereo on my speakers where the phone is like laying on the desk like 10 feet away from me. I'm not gonna like hear anything better or less. If I want something, I'll connect it to speakers. I think that all these reviewers who are saying like this is premium built, it's aluminum, it looks pretty and all this is all BS because I'm gonna put a cover. I am not gonna buy a really expensive phone, which we're gonna talk about in a second, and not put it in some sort of a case. So I'm not going to see all this beautiful aluminum anyway, or the glass panel, or all these things that seem to be people seem to speak about these things that are so important on the outside, like the shell and the aluminum. Um, and people keep talking about all these things. It has to do with the case on the outside. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm putting a case anyway, so why would I care about that? You know. So I don't really benefit from the premium build, so to speak. What I am actually considering that most people don't seem to think as much, but I know that I'm an exception here, is the size of it. It's actually a little bit smaller than the 5X, and I was hoping for something smaller for a long time, something that is closer to my old Nexus 4. Now, this is not the size of the Nexus 4, as much as I wish to find a phone that size again, but I actually tried it in the Google, made by Google store in New York. If you haven't heard about it in New York, you can check the phones there. Um, but it is actually more manageable in the hand. I actually do like it, but that's kind of more like of a small perk, right? So what else? Like, and these are like not enough, nothing here convincing to want me to get the phone. The camera, the 5X has a great camera, and I got used to it, and all these effects that come with it. If you use a couple of apps that are good, and I use them constantly, especially with Google Photos, I don't care. That also goes for the 4K videos and the pictures. Like, most of the pictures you're going to view are going to be on the phone screen that you or your friends are going to watch anyway, or on a computer screen, right? Do you really need to take pictures in this top quality that like every pixel count? Do you want to do it like you want to have 5 megabytes of a picture? Like, are we all like professional photographers? I mean, unless you're some kind of like more like photo snob or something. I mean, I don't think you really care. It's not like the images that are being trimmed to be free. And again, you can get free storage with Google Photos to compress a little bit matters, right? And I have videos there right now. So that free storage is, again, a nice perk. Do I care? No. The support is another thing. There's a support share screen built in. I'm a Project Fi member, and if you are not on Project Fi, I highly recommend it. Their support is already phenomenal. I don't feel like I need screen share or something, and again, I feel like I can explain what's wrong, what are the issues when I talk to someone on the phone in a way that they can help me, and that's been the case before. Let's just say a screen share and a support tab is not exactly what is going to push me toward getting a brand new phone. And so far we talked about all these things are little perks that are nice, but they're not like, oh, I really need to have this phone. What else are we left with? I don't think there's much more you're left with the phone. Of course, there's Google Assistant. We didn't touch that. I'm not so sure about that. And the problem here is coming from somewhere else that I read online, and that is that, I do use the Google Assistant right now, and it does what it does. I find that I mostly use it for reminders to do things, and I like to remind me to do something at a certain hour, or search where I don't have the patience to search, in a tab, like I just talked to it. And this is it. I don't feel like I'm going to have conversations with my phones, with all these like conversation lights that you hope the assistant will pick up on where you left off. I don't have time for this. There are going to be too many failures in this, and the assistant is too far off from doing things that are really beneficial. So this is a little bit hard to explain, but let's say the assistant is not so much of an improvement to a point where it would go over my inconvenience or embarrassment, so to speak, of saying the activation words, which I'm not saying because the phone is next to me, in public all the time. I mean, you sound like an idiot if you keep saying like, "Okay, Google, sorry," you know, to your phone every 5 seconds. That's dumb. I mean, everyone else have like at least like names that would work, but just saying that, it's like one of the things that the Google never actually finished thinking. So they call it the Google Assistant, but that's how you summon it. So it's really weird. So the benefit of getting the little person, the assistants, are not so great that I would actually say in public music more. So again, nice perk. And a huge part that could probably take me a whole video in itself is the messaging, right? We're talking about Allo and built-in and Duo. And these apps are, first of all, that's not Pixel exclusive, so that doesn't belong in this conversation. But just the notion that they're pushing Hangouts out of the way and I need to install it, it's like more of an annoyance because I'm really pissed off at Google for the way they're managing their messaging. And I'm not the only one, I should record a video on that. But while some people are like excited that the assistant is coming out of Allo and is going to be on the main OS, I'm like, go and see what the big deal is. And even if there is, I mean, we're all going to get this assistant sooner or later to the Nexus phone. I mean, there's already an unofficial way to install it through a package file from the forum online, and it's supposed to work with 5x. I'm not doing it because, again, I don't see the benefit. I'm the kind of user who has done things like that before, so I don't need the extra, push. Kind of user who've been doing this before, so I can just go ahead and do it if I want to. I don't need to buy a phone. And this is where I come to the price. I'm going to finish this up. The phone costs exactly as much as an iPhone, and they did it on purpose, of course. I mean, the reason the phone costs exactly as much as an iPhone is because this phone is supposed to be exactly everything that your iPhone can do, only better, right? So if you're willing to pay so much for an iPhone, here's the same money exactly you will shout for an iPhone, but on a better phone. That's what Google is trying to tell you. And I'm coming from a point of like, I'm saying like, no, Apple is already robbing its users and having them believe that they're buying the best hardware for the price they charge, which is BS. You don't need to copy this. You do not need to copy this bad habit into your Android phone. It's always cheaper. I'm not saying like this phone is like can be sold for like 200, $300, but aiming it exactly as an iPhone is like an insult. Like you're telling me that my favorite phone is now going to cost as much as the company that is obviously overcharging for phones, right? So the price by itself, of course, beyond just being freaking expensive, it's also kind of like a slap in the face in terms of like we're going to copy everything from Apple, including the price tag, because we can do everything better. But so my strategy is what I'm going to do is keep listening to the reviews and follow them closely and hope for some discount. And during the holidays, I'm sure there will be something coming up, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I don't know, Robotic Thursday, whatever you want to call it. Enjoy the Wednesday. To get a discount, even 10%. And at this point, I'll decide from all the reviews I've seen if the phone is worth the purchase. And if so, I'll get it for like a small little discount. So that's why I'm waiting, and I think you guys should wait too, especially if you're on the fence. I don't see anything that is wow great about the phone. I might just get it at the end because I am a Google fan and this is the way it goes. And while I don't like what I did with the price and I don't like where they're going with the messaging, I live inside Google and this is obviously where Google is. So maybe that notion itself is what will get me to get the phone. But we'll see. I guess we'll see about that. So that's all from me for now. If you have any comments, let me know. Thank you.